Alright, so today's shoulder day, and I've already done my first 4 sets here. I went 5, 10, 15, 15. Now we're going to knock out one more set of 15 reps for rear dumbbell flies at a slight upward angle, not quite completely out to the side. If you bring, instead of flying out like this and squeezing your shoulders, if you come slightly upwards and try to like almost pull your shoulders down to each other, like fold them in versus just make them touch, it targets the rear delt a whole lot harder and more effectively. At least that's the way it has felt over the last few weeks. And I mean, I've gained a bunch of rear delt development in the last couple of weeks. So it is, at least in my case, extremely effective. So we are going to keep on doing them this way. So, now that we're done with those, we're going to go ahead and move on to rear cable flies, and I'll bring you guys back to the last set on those. Alrighty guys, so we're on our last set of rear cable flies here. Got 30 pounds on here. These things are kicking my butt today, I tell you what. But we're going to try to struggle through this last set here, get as much of it done as possible, and then we'll be on to face pulls after that. So, but we're working towards it. All we can do is just keep to the plan, work through the plan, and if we can't complete it, we just try to get a little bit further each time. So, it's all it's got to take. It's just a little bit of time and making sure you're just putting effort into it. As long as you're putting that complete maximum effort into your sets and into your programming, and staying onto your diet for the most part, you're going to achieve your goals that you're looking for. As long as they're attainable goals. You can't be 5'5", 500 pounds of fat, and then expect to ever be like Mr. Olympia. It's never going to happen. That's not an attainable goal. But it is attainable to go from 500 pounds down to 200 pounds. That's 5'5". And, you'd still be a little overweight, but, hey, freaking, from carrying around that 500 pounds for so long, you're going to have some pretty beefy legs. And your body's just going to feel a whole lot better after losing all that weight. So, now, as for someone who's, just a little bit out of shape and wants to be in shape, that's not very hard to do, If you're consistent for, 4 months to 6 months, you're probably going to reach the shape that you want to be in as long as you put in actual effort that entire time. Otherwise, if you're half-assing it, it might take you 6 months to 12 months. But you're still going to get there as long as you're putting some effort towards it. It's just, is it going to be as fast as possible? That's when that whole consistency thing comes in. So, the more consistent you are, the more results you're going to see. So, now there is diminishing returns, just like with everything. So, you can't be too strict and just a full-on robot forever. But, let's get this set going. Ooh, yeah. Ugh. Ugh. Ooh. Woo. is heavy. All of this shoulder stuff definitely sometimes makes me regret going with this 1-to-1 machine. Because there's not a room or a bunch of adjustment. Ugh. Because everything's in a 10-pound increment on this machine, and it being 1-to-1, you know, if you go 10 to 20, it's 10 pounds. But if it was a 2-to-1 machine, that 10 to 20 would only be a 5-pound jump. So then it'd be 10, 20, 30 to make the same 10 pounds there. So then I could add in a little extra volume, the weight increases a bit slower. So that would be preferable for these tiny little muscle groups like shoulders and chest flies. It'd be nice to be able to do 5-pound jumps and just be able to get a whole bunch more volume in before we're just hitting that maximum load. But it is what it is. So we're going to work with it. Our shoulders are definitely going to get stronger. Just we're going to work into, you know, it'll be okay, we can finally do 15 reps here consistently. Then we're going to go to 40 pounds, and then it's going to be like, oh shit, we can only do like 8. So it's then you have to work on just trying to build that up a little bit at a time. So instead of just getting to go, okay, 15 reps and then up again, 15 reps, but now we're actually really fatigued. So, but with that, I'm gonna go ahead and get on the face pulls. I'll start getting those things knocked out, and then I'll go ahead and bring you back for the last set of those. All right, so we're on to our last set of face pulls. Got 80 pounds on the stack. We started off at 40, just worked our way up at 15 reps a set. So let's go ahead and get these things knocked out here. The rear delts are feeling pretty freaking cooked here. Oh. All right. So with that, now we're going to go ahead and move into lateral raises. I'm going to hit them with the dumbbells, so that way I can pyramid up in weight. And I'll go ahead and bring you back for the last set on those. Alrighty, y'all. So we're on to our last set. Dumbbell side raises. I got the 25s. Let's go ahead and get these things going. Oh. All right. Man, oh man. So, one of the things I like to do when I'm doing dumbbell side raises is instead of holding the dumbbells completely, like one straight out to the side, because that'll pinch your shoulder eventually, so you always want to have your arm pulled forward a slight bit. And I also just like to bend my elbow some. It's a lot nicer on my elbow joints. But 2, I like to rotate my palms downwards, or should I say my thumbs downwards. And what that does is, if your hand's up like this or flat, you can tell that the lateral delt is partially engaged to have the arm here already. But if you go like that, you really see that muscle come into engagement. So just that small 45-degree tilt from there to there, massive difference. So think of it as when you're doing those side raises, like you're trying to pour a pot of tea. Your thumb's the spout, and you're just trying to fill someone's cup. And that little cue right there will make some drastic changes in the way you feel your shoulder engage and the way the load is placed onto that lateral delt, as well as when you're down here and you get a little bit of that twisted, it's really going to put a big stretch onto that delt. So even though I'm using the dumbbells and there's not a lot of load down here, I am getting more stretch, which is going to apply more load to that muscle without the additional weight. But when we're way up here, it's getting a lot more stress applied to it than if your hand was just upwards or flat out. So that little tweak will make massive changes in the way your shoulder development happens. So with that, I'm going to go ahead and move into upright rows, and I'll bring you back to the last set on those. Alrighty guys, so I've went 55, 75, 95. Now I'm going to go ahead and do one more set of 95 pounds for upright rows. And we'll be on out of here. I am freaking cooked. And my shoulders are pretty beat down. They're toast. So let's go ahead and get this last set done. And then we can go do our evening cardio. Alright, that's all she wrote. The fat lady has sung, as some would say. So, we struggled it on out today, but the progress is going to be worth it. Energy levels today kind of in the gutter. It's probably because man oh man, spent a couple hours outside earlier finishing up some rebar work I got to do to pour a concrete slab I'm doing in the backyard, and just get the prep finished up on that so I don't have to worry about it, because I'm pouring that on next Friday, so here in 7 days. But I've got that all buttoned up and ready to go, so that's nice. I just got to take a panel down out of the fence the morning of the concrete truck coming, so you can get on into the backyard. But we're able to go ahead and get through our workout, and we're able to do all the weights we're supposed to do. We just feel a little extra exhausted, so it is what it is. Tomorrow we got back day, so looking forward to that. We got to pull, I think 370 tomorrow is what our top set for 2 is. So that's going to be real nice. Hamstring in the left knee still feels a little tender depending upon how I step on it, so that'll be our limiting factor tomorrow, is how that thing feels. If it doesn't feel tight while we're pulling, then we're good to rock. So, other than that, we're just getting to it. Trying to stay consistent. We're 7 days into, or I guess this would be day 8, going into maintenance calories, and that's been real nice. Just being able to eat quite a bit more, and haven't really been working on the protein target. Been kind of just enjoying eating a bunch of junk and stuff. Weight this morning, I was 203 pounds. So I went up a few pounds, and I've gone back down a few pounds now. So, and I'm not trying to, but it is what it is. I'm not going to worry about it. If the scale goes down and I'm eating more, then I was just not eating anywhere near enough, and that's why I was feeling so terrible. So that'll also be good to know. I am on Monday going to start tracking my total calories and stuff, and instead of just intuitively just kind of eating till I'm fullish type of thing. That way I know actually where my macros are falling and all of that stuff. So, and I'm also playing around with a few other foods to see how they're going to make me feel and affect my stomach and digestion and things like that. So that way I can widen my horizons a little bit. And figure out a few extra sources here of protein. Like I've been trying a few different chicken sausages for flavors and for brands, seeing which ones I like the most. Because some of them are 120 calories, but they're 14 grams of protein. So I'll take that. A little higher in fats, obviously, and whatnot, because some of them have cheese and things like that in them. They are all natural, no GMO, no antibiotics. Ingredients list on them is all actual food. So, just playing around a little bit with that. Because I do want, we are trying to build muscle, so I do need to make sure I'm getting my protein in. I got to make sure, I'm staying in a calorie range that's going to be promotive of strength and size, but not so much so that I put a bunch of weight back on. So, because more or less now I kind of want to stay around my weight and just keep adding muscle on. That's my goal. So, that way I can be leaner and leaner and leaner without having to go through such a drastic deficit again. Because the more muscle you put on, the more fat you're going to lose. So, cardio doesn't burn fat. It does not get rid of fat. Cardio, all it does is help create a caloric deficit. So, if you need to be in 1,000 calorie deficit per day, it sucks to, take 1,000 calories out of your diet. But if you can only take 500 out, and you can do 500 calories worth of cardio, so basically go walk 5 miles, then, you can save yourself 2,500 calories there. And the nice thing is, too, is, you can start with a 300 calorie deficit, walk 2 miles a day, and then slowly start increasing that deficit over time and allow your body to continuously have to progress to that new state. Because if you do it all at once, your body's going to get adapted to it, and you're going to watch a plateau happen a lot faster. And then you're going to have to stop your diet, go back into maintenance, or possibly even a surplus, and you kind of yo-yo back and forth, and it's not effective. But with that, I'm going to get on out of here. So make sure you guys are working on your goals, and most of all, just don't be a lazy fuck.